everyone, welcome back. It's Dee, and today I'm going to be doing a reading vlog. Right now I am in my hometown, home of the Spartans, Norfolk State University. So I attended homecoming this weekend. Today is Monday the 28th, I believe. I do have the day off today, and so I'm getting ready to hit the road to go back to North Carolina where I live. I have finished this book right here. I've been reading this book for about a week just because I am a very slow reader, and then I had a hard time picking up the book, not because the book wasn't interesting. I just had some mental blocks, personal things or whatever. But once I got into that book, I wanted to know page by page what was going to happen in the story next. If you didn't watch that previous vlog, this book is about a man who was sentenced to death. He was on death row for 30 years. And the struggles that he went through while incarcerated, living on death row, the horrific ordeal that he had to endure. The outcome is known. He was able to be freed, but if certain things had not happened with him in himself, he definitely would not be here to tell his story. He would definitely have been a victim of the justice system, the death penalty, in other words. Initially, when I started that book, I did not think that I was going to keep it. I was going to read the story and then I was going to donate the book. I didn't feel the need. I didn't think to keep the book. Now I'm like, I've got to keep this book because it definitely was 5 stars. So I left it. Well, I'm leaving it here in Virginia for my brother because I recommended it for my brother to read, and he picked the book up. So now he is reading it, and so I went ahead. I know I'm not going to get the book back. I'm not going to see that book probably again, and so it's a hardback anyway, and I do prefer paperbacks. So I went on to Thrift Books and I ordered another copy of it, a used copy. But I will be doing a book haul because I did make a purchase of some books from thriftbooks.com, because I ended up returning a lot of books from Amazon because they pissed me off, and I just want to not purchase books solely from Amazon. I want to go to used bookstores, find other means and ways to acquire books. So this definitely will be my last book haul. Some of these books you've already seen. They're just repurchases. I've already kind of talked about them a little bit. Not necessarily new to me books. I've read them before, and some are new. So when I get home, probably tomorrow, because it's going to take me about 5 hours to get home, when I do hit the road, I'll share the haul probably tomorrow because I'm going to be too tired. Well, I got to work tomorrow. Yeah, I got to work tomorrow. So probably after work, or we'll see what I end up doing. But right now, I'm going to head into Wawa. It's a gas station, but I love their coffee, and get me a cup of coffee, go back home to my parents' house because I've got to fill out some paperwork for them. Anyway, so let's go ahead and head into this Wawa. Okay, y'all, so I am back in my car. I went to Wawa and I just got a regular coffee with some hazelnut creamers. Do not look at my nails. As soon as I get home, I'm going to give myself a gel manicure. Anyway, so I'm going to have my coffee, go in the house, fill this paperwork out, and then I'm going to be hitting the road. Usually when I do make these long trips home and things like that, I do make like several stops. So I may stop off at Trader Joe's. I'm not going to stop at any bookstores because I'm on book overload. The haul that I'm going to be sharing is going to be the last haul for the year because I don't need any more books at this point. I just need to read what I already have. But I may stop at the Tanger outlets as well. So we'll see. Okay, so I am all packed up. And I'm getting ready to head back home to North Carolina. It's about a 4.5-5 hour drive. I said I was going to stop, but it's already kind of late. It's almost 1 o'clock, and so I am behind schedule. I am going to make a stop before I get on the highway to see my mom because my mom is in a nursing home. I try to come home and as often as I can to spend time with my parents because they are getting older. So yeah. That's the phase of life that I am in right now. My mom always expects treats from me when I do come to visit her at the nursing home. So I'm going to be stopping by Dairy Queen and getting her a little sweet treat. So I do have a few audiobooks that I do listen to while I am traveling. I have I think it's Think Faster, Sound Smarter, or something like that. I will put it on the screen here. I think that's the audiobook that I'm going to be listening to, because I do like my fictional novels, but also I enjoy reading nonfiction in the area of self-improvement and things like that. This book talks about how to respond publicly, like in a meeting at work or something like that, when you're put on the spot. That happens a lot in corporate America. I just started a new job, and so already people are asking me for my opinions. The reason why I picked up this book, I can always stand to improve in certain areas. Such a small world. I saw my coworker in the outlet. I did end up going to the Tanger outlets, and I did go to the loft, and I did purchase just a few like loungy fall type things. Not a lot, so I don't think I did too bad. Hey y'all, so it's the next day, and of course when I got home I was just too tired to pick up the camera, and plus my shipment had not come in, so it was really nothing for me to talk about, because I did not do any reading, I don't believe, on yesterday when I came back. So I am back to share with the thriftbooks.com book haul, because I got the last package today. I did get the first package shipped on Friday, and then the rest of the books came today. So this book was shipped to me because I didn't realize this book, I ordered it in acceptable, that's what it was marketed as, condition, but when I got it, y'all, it's not acceptable. So it is Razor Blade Tears by S.A. Cosby, and this is what how the book came to me, y'all. The cover is all messed up, the front and the back, it's got a dent like in it. The spine is messed up, I don't know if you could see that, and of course it's got torn edges of the book. This was like $6 and some change. I don't agree with it being acceptable, because it's not. Honestly, I know it really doesn't matter how the book looks, but I almost want to just give this one away and buy another book. I know that's kind of foolish, I know that is, but I may just do that just because I don't like how the book looks. I'm interested in the book anyway, so you guys should know what this one is about, so I won't get into details about this one. So that's Razor Blade Tears. And then the next book that I got, this is the second package. All the other books are in good condition, or the condition that was marketed as, they were marketed as. So this one is The Other Princess, a novel of Queen Victoria's goddaughter by Denny Bryce. Now, I did not realize, I thought this was an all black story, like historical fiction, but it is based on a true story about this black princess who becomes a part of Queen Victoria's court. So I'm really interested in reading that and how she navigated in that world or society, being that she's black and, Queen Victorian, white, and things like that. So I like the fact that it's based on a true story, and so that intrigues me even more, and the book is in good condition. The next book you've seen, and it's Roots, and this condition is acceptable as well. Now, before I get into, you guys know what that's all about by Alex Haley, I won't go and get into it. Let me show you how the books were packaged. So the books were packaged in this plastic bag. This is how this one single book was packaged. I think that's fine if it's one book, but it's really thin. And when I got the second package, the corner of the book was torn. So this next book I'm going to show you would have been in good condition except for the torn corner. And it is no other than Kristen Hanna's The Nightingale. And so if you can see that corner, this book was sticking out of the corner and the corner was torn. So I feel like this would have been a perfect book because nothing else is wrong with the book except for this. I think I can get over that. So yeah, I did leave them a review suggesting that they package their products in boxes instead of cheap plastic bags, especially since I had more than one book in there and it can get heavy, and I think that's probably how it was torn in shipping. But anyway, you guys have heard probably about this one, and so I was influenced to get this one. I am going to be doing a video of the recent influence book purchase that I have made, so stay tuned to that. But I'm not going to go into what this one is about. You guys probably have heard of it. If not, I will be back to speak about that book. The next book is Our Gin by Diane McKinney Whetstone. And I was scrolling through Amazon one day. All of these books that I'm showing you, I previously purchased, but I said in the previous clip that I returned them to Amazon, and I decided to purchase them used. Anyway, so I'm trying to move away from buying solely on Amazon. So I really like the cover. It is about, and then the premise of the book, it's about this middle-aged population. They moved to this 55 plus community. I was just intrigued by the friendships. They talk about the different characters and things like that. And so as you can see, it just seems like these middle-aged people are just living their best lives. So, you know, it's always good for me to read about someone who's my age and my age bracket, even though I'm not there, I'm not 55 plus just yet. I soon will be in the next decade or so. I'm just loving this cover and reading about, you know, how they're just having the best time of their lives, because it looks like they are just having so much fun as older Americans. Okay, what else? All right, so the last book I want to show is Kristen Hanna's Between Sisters, and this one was listed in good condition as well, but as you can see, it's not, and it does have like a stain like right there. So I probably, to be honest with you, will be putting these two books in the free library and just getting me 2 brand new copies. I probably will start with one of her like not so popular. I like to do that with authors who are popular. Start with a non-popular. It doesn't, just because it's not popular, no one's talking about it on YouTube, doesn't mean that it's not like a well-known book. It's a completely whole world out there that's not on YouTube or talking about books and things like that. But I like to start with books that you don't hear a lot about. So I probably will start with this one, Between Sisters, just because I like the premise of it. It says, years ago, Megan Dantis made a terrible choice that cost her everything, including the love of her sister. And so that seems like that will be heart-wrenching, because I have a sister too, and I could not imagine not having a good relationship with her. I mean, we didn't have the best relationship growing up when we were younger, but now like we are like so close. I just couldn't imagine not having my sister there in my life. And so for the most part, these books were okay except for these two, and then I just did not like the way that they were shipped in this cheap plastic. So yeah, I do have, I said this is going to be the last book haul, but actually I did make another purchase of books, and those books should be arriving probably sometime this week. So depending on how long I stretch this video out, this vlog out, you may see that. And so that haul will be the last haul of 2024. So yeah, so I'll determine if I'll make any more purchases based on this next order. Let me show you guys what I am reading now. All right, so I am reading Audre Lorde's The Cancer Journals. So October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, okay? So if you have not had your mammogram and you are of the age, check with your doctor if they recommend that for you, because based on your history, that may be recommended for you to see about getting a mammogram. Anyway, so I am reading Audre Lorde's The Cancer Journals. I've been wanting to read this for a long time just to see and hear about someone else's perspective. I mentioned in a previous video that I myself am a cancer survivor of 6 years, and so I do struggle with a lot of things that most survivors do struggle with. One being fear and things like that. I am reading something else to help me kind of heal and move forward from that, or try to deal with that as much as possible. I'm not sure if that would 100% go away, because I am still human, but try to cope with that as much as possible, and engage in self-care and positive thinking and things like that has really helped me. But yeah, I've been wanting to read this, and I will be finishing this book. I started it when I started this yesterday, and I will be finishing it today, because it's a short one. It's just like a journal, and it's amazing how some of the things that she talked about in this book I still think is relevant to this day. But of course I will go into more details when I do a recent reads video about like what this book is about and what my thoughts are on this, because she does have a different take and a perspective I've never heard anybody talk about, that have actually dealt with cancer. Of course, she's passed away. She passed away, I think, in 1992, if I'm not mistaken. I just finished this book. This is Audre Lorde's The Cancer Journals. It was very good. It is a account of Audre Lorde's experience with breast cancer and her thoughts about having a mastectomy, how society sees women as far as stereotypes and expectation of our bodies, how our bodies should look, and conforming, and all the pressures that we as women having to maintain a certain image because I'm a woman, things like that. So she really brought that to light in this book. I'm glad I read it because it's been on my list for quite some time. All right, so I'm about to end this vlog, and I thought I would come on here regardless of having this bonnet on, because the girlies on YouTube, they be rocking their bonnets in their videos. So I was like, why not? I'm gonna be ending this vlog by showing you all what I am reading next. I am reading, excuse my voice, it's like 10 o'clock at night and it's been a long day. Anyway, so I am going to be reading 40 Acres by Dwayne Alexander Smith. This is one of the books that I want to read before the end of the year, because it's been on my TBR for about 5-6 years as well. So this is one of the oldest books I've had on my shelf, just sitting collecting dust, and it's time for me to read it. Danny here on YouTube, she read this book and she seemed to really like this book. She had good things to say about the book, so that gives me some hope that I'm going to like this book. I was supposed to pick this book up mid-October, but life got away from me. I started a new job. I did a little bit of traveling in October, so that kind of set me behind a little bit. But as I say, I'm not in a rush to read my books, because I really like to enjoy my books and be as authentic as I can, and not rush my book just because I'm, trying to make content or anything like that. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to reading this book. Tomorrow is Friday. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.